Coming to you live. This is going to be another movie review. This one's called 20 Million Miles to Earth, also known as The Beast from Space, 1957. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. I love this flick. We like 1950 sci-fi movies on this channel. Yes, we do. Yes, sirree. As the other movie reviewer says, yes, sirree. U.S. horror science fiction monster film. We love it. Directed by Nathan Jurian, starring William Hopper. Played Private Detective Paul Drake on Perry Mason. Joan Taylor and Frank Puglia. Don't know them. It was produced by Charles H. Schneers, Morningside Productions for Columbia Pictures. The screenplay was written by Bob Williams and Christopher Knopf from an original treatment by Charlotte Knight. As with several other Schneer-Columbia collaborations, the film was developed to showcase the stop-motion animation of Ray Harryhausen. Oh, I forgot to put his name in the description. I can do that right now. Special effects by Ray Harryhausen. I can do that while I'm doing my video. We like Ray Harryhausen on this channel. All right. Bam, done. We're doing this in real time. We're winging it here. The first U.S. spaceship to Venus. I thought there have been many spaceships to Venus. But none of them with actual astronauts in them. The XY-21 crashes. Part of the problem is that the pressure is, the atmosphere is poisonous and the pressure is 1 mile below the ocean. Crashes. Okay, the XY-21 crashes into the Mediterranean Sea off the coast of Sicily, Italy. I used to have a Sicilian coworker who was a CNN fanatic and a Cove idiot. Fishermen board boats and heads to the spacecraft, enter through a hole in the spacecraft, and they pull 2 spacemen from the nose-down craft before it completely sinks. I was not impressed by the special effects in the beginning. Not at all, but Ray Harryhausen makes up for it later. In Washington, D.C., Major General A.D. McIntosh, played by what's his name? Thomas Browne Henry. That guy's been in a lot of movies. Thomas Browne Henry. I'll tell you what movies he's been in. Julius Caesar. What else? My Man Godfrey. How to Make a Monster. Airport. Just to name a few. All right, so he's in it. He discovers the missing spaceship piloted by Colonel Bob Calder, Paul Drake, has been located. As McIntosh flies to the site, Pepe, that doesn't sound like a Sicilian name, Pepe, a little boy finds and opens a translucent cylinder marked USAF on the beach. It contains a glutinous mask, a gelatinous mass, which he presents to Dr. Leonardo, a zoologist studying sea creatures. Meanwhile, Leonardo's granddaughter, Marissa, a third-year medical student, is summoned to take care of the injured spaceman. Ooh, she's got the hots for Calder. When Calder regains consciousness, he finds his crewmate, Dr. Sharman, in the last throes of the fatal disease that killed his other 8 crewmen. So at first they're kind of nasty to each other, similar to Ann Sheridan and James Cagney in the last movie I saw. But eventually they fall in love, just like Cagney and Ann Sheridan in the other movie I just saw. After Marissa returns to the trailer shared with her granddaughter, a small creature hatches from the egg, and Leonardo locks it in a cage. By morning, the creature has tripled in size. McIntosh arrives, accompanied by scientist Dr. Justin Uhl, and meets with two representatives of the Italian government, informing them the spaceship has returned from Venus. Leonardo and Marissa hitch the trailer to their truck, and they head for Rome. Calder's spacecraft carried a sealed metal container bearing an unborn Venusian species. I guess they don't believe in abortion in Venus. As police divers begin to search for it, McIntosh offers a $500,000 reward for the capsule's recovery, prompting Pepe, the little boy, to lead them to the empty container. When Pepe tells them that he sold the mask to Dr. Leonardo, McIntosh and Calder pursue Dr. Leonardo. That night, Leonardo discovers that the creature has grown to human size soon after it breaks out of the cage, which is an unintentionally funny scene. Another unintentionally funny scene is when the monster destroys the bridge. just look at the it's funny to watch the panic look on Paul Drake's girlfriend's face. The creature eats sulfur, and he rips open several bags it discovers in a barn. Breaks out of the cage and heads to a nearby farm, terrorizing the animals. While feeding, the creature is attacked by the farmer's dog, and the creature maims the dog, alerting the farmer. Calder and the others reach the barn, trapping the creature inside. Calder explains that the creature is not dangerous unless provoked. However, he provokes it. After saying that, he goes ahead and provokes it by trying to prod the creature with a pole into a cage-like cart. Unsuccessfully, the creature, he just didn't follow his own advice, and he failed. The creature injures the farmer after the farmer stabs the creature with a pitchfork. After the creature breaks out of the barn and it disappears into the countryside, the police commissioner insists that it must be destroyed. Paul Drake has other ideas. After the Italian government grants Paul Drake Calder permission to capture the creature alive, he devises a plan to ensnare it. An electric net dropped from a helicopter. The Italian police conduct their own pursuit, shooting at it with flamethrowers. Gunfire has little effect on the creature, as it has no heart or lungs, just a bunch of pipes running through the body. Aware that sulfur is the creature's food of choice, Paul Drake uses bags of sulfur as bait. Colonel Calder luring the creature to a secluded site and subduing it with an electric jolt from the net. Give it some electroshock therapy, this monster. Later at the American Embassy in Rome, Macintosh briefs the press corps and allows 3 reporters to view the creature, which has been placed in the Rome Zoo. There, Calder Paul Drake explains that the creature is being sedated with a continuous electric shock so that it can be studied. Marissa, who is aiding her uncle, begins flirting with Calder. Yeah, they're really hot for each other, these two. Suddenly, electrical equipment shorts out and the creature awakens. Yeah, there's like a crane or something that bangs into a light and all the power goes out. The creature, now in gargantuan size, battles a zoo elephant, sends the panicked patron scurrying. So now we got 2 claymation monsters, the elephant and the Venusian thing that looks like a it looks like a goblin on like a cathedral or something. Taking their fight to the streets of Rome, the 2 beasts destroy cars and they damage buildings. The creature maims the elephant, and then it continues on with this rampage. Calder, Paul Drake, rams the creature with his car, runs out, and hides behind a pillar. And he tracks the creature to the river Tiber, where it submerges. Soldiers lob grenades in the river, and the creature surfaces, destroying the Pont San Angelo. That's the next great scene to watch. Unintentionally funny. It heads for the Colosseum, and it destroys an ancient temple, killing a few soldiers. As the creature disappears into the ruins, Calder, Paul Drake, charges after it with a group of bazooka-carrying soldiers, driving it to the top of the structure. Calder scores a direct bazooka hit. Good job, Paul Drake. Direct fire from the tank, then destroys a ledge the creature is clinging to, and it plunges to its death. The film was based on a concept by Ray Harryhausen called The Giant Emir. 20 Million Miles to Earth began production in Rome, Italy in 1956, using only William Hopper of the main cast, and they moved it to the US from October 30th to November 9th of that year. Rome was chosen as the location for filming because Harryhausen wanted to vacation there. So that's where the rocket ship lands. The working title of the film was The Giant Emir, and it has also been released as The Beast from Space. All references to the name Emir were removed from the released version of the film, as Harryhausen was concerned that audiences might confuse it with the Arabic title Emir. Most of the noises made by Emir are recordings of elephant noises played at a higher speed. Ray Harryhausen wanted the film to be shot in color, but the filmmakers were not given a budget large enough to accommodate color filming. I was given the option to watch 2 versions, kind of similar to the Shirley Temple disc that I've been receiving this past year. I asked my son if I should watch color or black and white. He said black and white. Smart kid. I always watch the black and white version. I don't like Crayola crayon colorization. But sometimes I'm forced to watch it, like that James Cagney movie that I can't remember the name of. In 2007, 5 years after the death of the film's director, Harryhausen worked with restoration and colorization company Legend Films to create a colorized version of the film. That version, along with the original theatrical black and white version, was released on July 31st, 2007 on DVD as part of the 50th anniversary edition of the film. And that's the version that I watched. But I only had the first disc because that's the only one that Netflix sends. Netflix has gone downhill. I'm going to stop using Netflix next year. I'm going to use Amazon and YouTube. I think I mentioned that before. Okay, there are minor differences between the two versions. For example, the black and white version begins in a fishing village in Sicily, the fictional Gara, not Sperlonga, Italy. It was the first of three collaborations between Harryhausen, Schneer, and Nathan Jurin. Jurin only directed the American sequences, while Schneer and Harryhausen directed the Italian sequences. So now I got to give Harryhausen director credit. Okay, I can do that. Directed by Ray. Save. Ray Harryhausen, director. Save. Done. We always do this on the fly. 20 Million Miles to Earth has an 80% positive rating at the film review aggregation website Rotten Tomatoes based on 10 reviews. Marco Lanzagorta of Pop Matters gave the film 9 out of 10 stars, calling it required viewing for those interested in modern cinema. 1959 is modern? I guess anything that's not silent is modern. Time Out wrote, "Don't worry about the dotty script or cardboard performances. Just sit back and watch this gelatinous blob in action," while the Radio Times called it one of the animation master Ray Harryhausen's best fantasy films and his own personal favorite. The snake-tailed giant Ymir creature is also one of Harryhausen's finest creations. It has a well-defined personality and it manages to evoke sympathy for its bewildered plight. The Ymir's fight with an elephant and the Roman locations, especially the climactic Colosseum battle, add unique touches to this minor classic. The 4-issue comic book miniseries, 20 Million Miles More, released by Tidal Wave Productions as part of their Ray Harryhausen's signature series, picked up the story 50 years after the events of the film. A preview of the first issue was included on the 50th anniversary DVD release of the film, which is the disc that I don't have. All right, so I added Devil's Partner to my list. I'm not going to go through my list again. And I'm doing pretty good. I got 2 reviews in so far, and it's only 2 p.m. here on the left coast. But there are a lot of bonus features on The Howling, so I think I'm going to nap and try to get through The Howling, try to get my 3rd review in. How long is The Howling? Let's open it up and see. 1 hour, 31 minutes. I might do it. It's very possible. It's entirely plausible that I could do 3 reviews today, which is amazing. But not really, considering that we didn't go to Latin Mass. I got all dressed up in my nice shirt and my black pants, and we didn't even go. That's okay. I'll go wash this stuff tomorrow when I get off work and I get all my grocery shopping done. What else? That's about it. I highly recommend it. Check it out. That's the end of my review. Laters.